Monday afternoon. I know a lot of you are like, what the fuck is going on? And why are you guys live on a Monday afternoon? Because this band needed an early shot, and they are fucking badasses. If you watched us a few months ago, we actually had one of their fucking music videos that we played, and we ended up getting like 7 fucking emails directly after that goddamn plugged in that we did of wanting us to bring new villains on. So here they are. How you guys doing today?
Yo, what's up?
Good.
Doing pretty good.
Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. So how long have you guys been together as a band for now?
Probably like around a year.
Close
We
to
had-
a year.
Yeah, we actually had another iteration. Same guys mostly, but we were under another name, which I guess ended up what was it like? There was someone else already with that name, so we just changed it.
Yeah.
Just changed the vibe a little bit, but yeah, been around about a year.
Let's say, because by listening to y'all's music and watching your music videos and stuff like that, I'm like, these guys are really fucking tight. I was like, they've got to be around for longer than that, but I am shocked at how fucking good it is for only being around for about a year. So mad fucking props to the level of musicianship that y'all have and that quickly, because that is amazing. All right, Meg, I'm gonna throw you right into the damn fire pit, so fucking go with it, girl.
Oh man. All right. So what's your most favorite and least favorite part of writing a song?
Corey?
Yeah, so so I guess I'll feel this one because I'm usually the one that writes most of the music, not all of it. Personally, I really enjoy writing the music. In a lot of ways, it's just anything that I'm doing in life. I'm on break right now. When I'm at work, I literally have like breakdowns and ideas and stuff like that in my head constantly 24/7. So I guess I would say the part that I love the most is hearing something that is inside your head become outside of your head, because a lot of these ideas, I mean, you can have an idea for 10 years. I mean, I've got like 1,400 voice memos in my phone, of just ideas I've written over the years. So hearing some of the stuff like make it outside of my head is like probably my favorite part. And I would say probably my least favorite part is, I guess, is just the fact that I write stuff all the time that I can't play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll hear this awesome idea in my head and I'll be like, oh, this is gonna slap. This is gonna be good. And then I like get down on the guitar or get down on the drums and be like, who am I?
Put this together. Yeah.
Yeah, like what? I
like the creativity of it, but that part's always the downfall.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part. At least for me, I mean, I think the other part of it is just like, when you're first starting a band, you're having to listen to each other's ideas. You're having to learn how to learn with other people, and you're having to learn the way other people learn. And so that's been a unique challenge, just figuring out what everyone's styles are. We have a ton. I mean, we have some like a ridiculous amount of different styles of around the members of this band. So just learning like everyone's influences and whatnot. I think that's a really cliche answer, but that's really like, if you don't learn how other people around you learn, then it's going to be really difficult to come up with solid ideas.
Right.
True.
Very good. Very good.
What about you, Clifford and Chandler? Do y'all have a favorite part of the process and the least favorite part?
To be honest, like for myself, you can ask these two guys and then Chris whenever he gets on here, but I'm never satisfied with anything. I'm always just like trying to figure out, what else can we do that's like gonna make this better. So for me, it's just all like excruciating anxiety, hoping that
the tortured artist over here.
yeah, hoping that like it's gonna be a banger. Because when we were recording Fold, I was standing there and I'm just like, dude, this intro is just like, I don't know, so long and country or something. I don't know. But I don't know. It ended up people like it. So
oh man.
I just get anxiety about it all. So it's never fun.
Aw. Well, maybe the playing of it is fun once you finally decided on something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
All right, how about you?
I mean, if I could Frankenstein a little bit of everybody's creativity, like all the members of the band, that would be amazing. But, you know, that comes with, you know, being together longer and, you know, developing chemistry and stuff. But at the same time, it's funny because I'm not really one to write music particularly. Like me, I'm more or less like, let's get together and jam, let's fill it out. And if we like something, record it or, you know, throw more ideas at it to see how we can make it better and things like that. I'm more of a jam kind of guy, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, Corey, you're up on deck, brother.
All right.
Is
this for question?
No,
oh,
yeah. No.
Oh.
There's two Corys in here.
Yeah, two Corys.
If you guys describe y'all's music to somebody that's never heard it before, what would you tell them?
That's a very good question.
Here's how I put it, because, you know, coincidentally, I really don't talk about the band too much in my personal life, or I don't say my personal life, but at work, because when I'm at work, man. I'm doing my thing. I'm just any regular guy. But when I told like a friend of mine or a coworker, I started this job in February, by the way. So when I found the one coworker listening to metal while he was working, I was like, okay, you're my friend now. So I told him about the band, and then he ended up getting involved with the band, just doing like helping out at shows and whatnot. But through the grapevine, pretty much my whole job heard about the band and like our songs and whatnot. And for it's, you know, you get different reactions because, you know, the dudes that listen to like rap and stuff like that, they obviously they're not really into it, but they're like, okay, that's cool. But for the people that love like heavier music, a lot of them like are really into like hard rock and stuff like that. They can listen to some Disturbed. They can listen to like, you know, basically like Octane Core, basically.
Mhm.
The way that I have really figured it out is that, you know, being under the metalcore umbrella, metalcore is like I would say the gateway into the metal scene. Now it's still metal, but like, you know, you're able to hear like there a lot of times the bands that have like clean vocals and stuff like that, and like solid melodies, like catchy stuff that you can put on the radio. That's kind of like what metalcore is. And so I say that like if you are a fan of like Wage War, like 2015, or like their first maybe one or two albums, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like that. And it's also for people who like don't really like, who don't love the rah stuff, you know, like you can get a little bit of everything, you know. You don't have to, if you like the soft stuff with just the clean vocals, then, you know, you can listen to that and it still be good, and you can still palate a little bit of the screaming, rather than like if you love just the rah stuff, you can also, you know, listen to our music that has that. But I basically just say like, you know, if you like, you know, nice melodies and singing with a little bit of screaming, then it's basically like first two albums of Wage War, basically, with some other.
Wait, who has arrived now to the party?
This is Chris.
That's Chris.
How's it going, guys?
Hey.
What's up, Chris?
Sorry I'm late. I was stuck in traffic.
Oh, you're good, man.
That's our vocalist, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, so how would the rest of you describe it? Because everybody's got to have a little bit of a different opinion on it.
What's your favorite and least favorite part about writing songs?
Man, it's hard. It's hard coming up with some good stuff, but yeah. What's my favorite part? Sorry, I'm a goofball. My favorite part probably have to be like seeing everything come together. You know, from the time we write it to the studio and putting it out, having everybody hear it, seeing everybody's reaction. That's probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I dig
For
that.
sure.
I dig that. All right, Daffy, you're up on deck.
All right, you all. If you could choose a different spot to be in the band, where would it be and what would you switch up to? Each of you.
That's hard. That's really hard
I'll let
because
someone go first.
I love drums, but I can't play it right. I've tried to learn, and I don't have a big enough spot to set up a kit or anything. I can play bass because my dad was a bassist and he taught me a little bit. But then really, so if I had to choose, it'd probably be vocalist, but I can't scream. So
It works, though.
It's kind of funny where this question came from because many years ago when I was on tour, we went to a local show in Vegas, and the band doesn't exist anymore. But there was a band that played called the Revolving Door, and every song the band would switch instruments. Every single fucking.
That's cool.
It was the craziest shit that I ever seen.
That's cool.
But they did. And I mean, granted, it was nothing but covers, and that's all they were doing was just, like metal covers. They were doing Korn, Deftones, fucking shit like that. But they'd change instruments every single fucking song.
That's wild.
Badass.
I would probably just play guitar. Something simple.
Chris, what about you?
I'm gonna be honest. I probably play the drums. I got a little bit of experience back in high school. I used to play percussion. It's just been a minute since I've been. But yeah, that's probably what I would do. Play drums. I think drums are cool.
So, as the drummer, I would. First of all, I love drumming. I started out in life as a guitarist, but swapped over to drums a few years ago. But I personally would be the vocalist, singing and screaming. Like, I'm not really a screamer. I've been learning, but I still suck. I'm not at a point where I can release anything publicly. But
Corey has a beautiful voice.
I just singing. I grew up in church singing, and that's just what I like to do. So I take it very seriously, especially the last few years when I've learned like different techniques and whatnot. But I would say, wherever New Villains goes, I will probably almost definitely have something like just a project. Could be on my own, could be on the side, where I'm doing vocals on something. Because singing is like one of the many joys in life that I have, and then eventually screaming whenever I can get good at that.
I've actually been trying to show Corey some techniques. And I've also talked to him about, kind of being like a backup vocalist because, yes, he does have a very beautiful voice.
See, they want me to be. They want me to drum and sing. I'm not gonna do that. I'm letting everyone know. You can. I'm
Phil
not
Collins,
I'm not
You
interested.
gonna pull out some Atreyu. All right.
I'll put it like this. When I'm working, I work in the automotive industry, and I work on cars. And the joke between me and my coworkers is, don't talk to me because I'll get into a conversation and I'll stop working. So singing and playing the drums does not mix for me. I just focus on one thing at a time. That's my take.
I feel you on that because I can sing pretty good, but I cannot play bass and sing at the same fucking time. I can't do it. I've tried. It does not fucking work because if I start singing, I'll quit playing.
Yeah, I can't focus on. You can only do one or the other.
That's exactly how Mr. Chandler right here he feels. He's actually, he's I've actually tried to get him to do some backup vocals as well, and we've actually tried that route, and he absolutely hates it. So we just kind of gave it up, and I try to do all the vocals as much as I can. So
Yeah, we're still figuring that out. We're only a few shows in, but yeah, well, what that's actually something we're figuring out right now as far as like singing and backup vocalists. Is right now we have one guitarist, but we really need two. That would take a lot of pressure off the situation. But yeah, I definitely love singing. I think probably more than any other instrument.
Okay, fair enough. So if you guys had the opportunity and somebody came to you and said, you guys get to go on a world tour and you get to choose 3 bands to go on tour with,
oh, that's a good question.
who would you choose to go on tour with? Each one of you, because I love the different answers on this one.
Me and my guy Chandler right here, we're like huge fans of like Downswing. You ever heard of them guys? Yeah, Downswing is good. I'm a huge fan of Motionless in White. Like, I actually, and my vocals are inspired by Chris Motionless himself. I just love listening to him. That's one of my top favorite bands. And my third pick would probably have to be Throne. I love me some Throne.
I dig that.
I think for me, it would be first and foremost Volumes. They've got to be like, I don't know that I have a favorite band. It changes, but Volumes has been a consistent top 3 for about, I want to say, over 10 years. Like, I've gone to their shows, met them, hung out with them, whatever. Awesome dudes, but like their music slaps in a way that just no one else's does. Like, they've just got a groove to them that's just dirty. So I definitely do Volumes. I definitely do Wage War. Wage War, I've loved them since day one. And I definitely do my homies in Bloodlines. They've been doing some big things lately. I've watched them blow up. I went to a show a few years ago before they started blowing up, where the only people in the crowd were me and my friend, and that was one of the best shows I've ever been to in my life. We went absolutely ham. It was amazing, and I've stayed in contact with them over the years, and they have been absolutely like just exploding. So I'd love to. I wanted to like be in their band. So if I could just like at least play with them, share the stage, that'd be freaking awesome.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Cliff, how about you?
For one, there's way too many to choose, but yeah, one of them would definitely be Metallica, and then these guys hate on me all the time because I like Metallica, but I would also like to do Slipknot and the one and only Ozzy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Chandler, how about you?
I would probably stick around like Motionless and White-ish. Like, I don't know, Wage War, something like that. I'd probably throw something crazy like Korn on there too.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Cool.
That'd be freaking sick.
Yeah.
There's too many bands out there to really pick.
I know Cliff
one.
will like that one too.
Yeah.
Loves them.
I would jam with anybody. I would jam with the Police, whoever.
Oh yeah.
I'd throw Periphery on there, but they would show us up. They're such gods at their instruments.
I've got mine's always the same. It's After the Burial, Spirit Box, and Mudvayne.
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen all of them live. They're so good.
They're so good.
I've seen them all, but that's to me like that's it.
A whole different scenario to play with them.
All right, Meg, you up?
So in the vein of bands, maybe bands that aren't metal, what would you say your biggest unexpected musical influence would be in your music?
Justin Timberlake.
Hey.
Yeah, I love me some Halsey. I love me some some Justin Timberlake, some Maroon 5. Yeah. I just love anything with a good sound, something that I can groove to. Yeah.
That's a good one, honestly. I think one of my very first actually, well, yeah, I think one of my very first influences, it's still kind of in the metal scene, but I think probably one of the most influential bands would be Hands Like Houses. Back in the day, when Trenton Woodley was the vocalist, his lyricism is absolutely phenomenal. I love the way like his use of like imagery and metaphors and stuff. But it's not so much the rock stuff, but they have one specific acoustic album called, I believe it's called Reimagine. And the song A Tale of Outer Suburbia. It's originally a rock song, but it's kind of written in like a sad acoustic, kind of melodic type vibe. And it's been my favorite song for about 12 years. And the song I used to practice singing too, because his vocals are absolutely ridiculous. So I think it's got to be like Hands Like Houses, or like honestly a little bit of Michael Jackson too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough.
Mine would probably be my father, because he introduced me to a lot of music as a kid. Like I mentioned the Police a few minutes ago. That was the first band that I could ever, like, as far back as I can remember listening to, like one of the first bands I ever listened to.
That's
So
awesome.
just being really young and seeing his half stacks and his basses and stuff, I just always kind of liked the idea of playing bass and guitar. And so as I got older, I finally bought one and just started playing. So I feel like he'd be one of the first influences for me.
Nice. And then what about you, Mr. Chan, sir?
You know, I like Big X the Plug a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
God.
also listen to like a lot of like Mexican hip hop.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Santa Fe Clan and Lefty SM,
That makes
those
sense.
kind of guys.
He's a huge mariachi fan.
And then
Mariachi band.
I listen to some like I guess you call it outlaw country.
Oh yeah.
Like Coulter Wall.
Yeah, Coulter
Tyler
Wall,
Childers.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to everything though. I mean, I know everybody says that, but mostly metal, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, I do not. You could not pay me to listen to country.
I will say like the new generation of country, I wouldn't listen to it.
Mm-mm.
But a lot of people like hear my voice and they're like, "Oh man, you must be,
Yeah.
like hardcore like country." And I'm over here like I just picked up the accent from out of nowhere. So, but yeah, like
Oh, you live in
I couldn't
Alabama.
get
That's not
paid
out
to
of
listen
nowhere.
to the new country music nowadays. Now, I will say like early 2000s and 90s country music was probably like the best in my opinion of country music.
Yeah.
But I've always grew up with like Hank Williams Sr. Like my dad, he was like a huge John Anderson fan, if y'all know who that is. Like there's a bunch of them out there that I used to listen to back when I was a kid. But yeah, nowadays you couldn't catch me driving in my truck with country music on. It's mainly like Miley Cyrus and just some off the wall stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough. All right, Corey, you're up.
If you guys could be sponsored by any equipment company, who would it be?
Wow.
Randall.
John Deere.
Yes.
That's, oh man, dude.
Could you imagine John Deere sponsoring a metal band? That would
They
be
just make the switch
Awesome.
right there.
That would be so cool. I don't know what.
They
I don't know what
they
they
make like their
us.
own New Villains tractor line. That would be awesome.
We're supporting world hunger.
Honestly, probably either Meinl or see. I'm right now looking for symbols, like the right symbols for me. So I'm trying different companies out. I think right now it'd either be Meinl or Peisty.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. Probably Schecter LTD for real.
Oh, that'd be
I
sick.
said Randall a second ago.
Ooh.
And Peg.
Ooh.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Especially if you're a bassist.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. He's got an awesome setup. Who's it by again? Who's it?
Ampeg.
Ampeg? Yeah. Awesome.
I got you. I'm not big on using cabs anymore, but back when I did use cabs, I used orange. But
Yeah, dude.
I'd go direct any chance I get because the cab is 8x10 and it's a pain in the ass.
Yep. That's why we're completely digital.
Yeah, I'll DI anytime I can.
Lugging that thing around is absolutely not a fun time.
It's so huge. Yeah.
You should see him trying to get it in his car. Funniest thing.
He drives. Okay, so this guy drives a BMW, and he shoves that thing in the back of his car every time we get together.
He is mad every single time. Every single time
so funny.
He's mad.
It's so funny seeing him load that thing up.
It's so much easier going digital when all you got to do is worry about your bass guitars, a few cables, and a fucking laptop, and out the door you go. All right, so this one's for each one of you. And I'm gonna let Daffy go, but if I don't ask this one, I'll forget.
Go for it.
You spend 24 hours with any musical icon of your choice, dead or alive, who would you choose to spend that time with?
Oh my God, Johnny Cash, man, Johnny Cash. he has so many like most of his music tells a story. So I'm pretty sure like he had a bunch more stories to tell. So yeah, that would definitely be my guy right there.
Crap, dude. Oh, man.
I'm probably gonna go with the Rev.
Dude. Okay. I was gonna say the Rev.
When I started like getting into heavier stuff, dude, the Rev, Avenged Sevenfold was everything.
I'll second that too. I loved Avenged Sevenfold so much for so long that I didn't want to listen to any other bands. I'm talking about for years. Mostly like while I was in high school. That was like my first. Actually, I found Avenged Sevenfold on the game Need for Speed Pro Street.
Yeah.
And ever since in 2011,
Corey's a secret pro racer, by the way.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
shut up.
He likes to drift.
That's
cut corners.
But yeah, I Avenged Sevenfold to me was my life for a long time before I got into like heavier stuff, and the Rev was just like the person that I admired the most. His work, his drumming style was absolutely savage, especially in City of Evil. Some of his best work.
Fair enough.
I think I could stay loyal and say Kirk Hammett, but I'm gonna go with Sting from the Police. By the amount of what he can do. And because if I'm not mistaken, like in more recent years, he's just been traveling the world and just learning different styles of music, right? And just almost in a sense creating, like blending different types together, right? Something similar to that. So I think that would be really influential to do something like that. So I think I would want to stick around with him for a little bit.
Of course.
I'm an old head. I'm younger than everybody else in this band, but I'm an oldie.
No, nothing wrong with that.
That's all right.
All right,
All right, I'm gonna play off of Corey's comment with the video games. If you can choose any video game that is out on the market, new or old, to put your music into, which one would you choose?
Farming Simulator.
Hey, work.
Sponsored me by John Deere and put my stuff in Farming Simulator. I'll be good to go.
I would personally do Forza Horizon 5 specifically because I'm not a gamer. I only play car games because I love cars. Cars are my life. And Forza Horizon 5 is the game that I play the most. I've probably got like 1,000 hours in it. But like
That's one.
I have like a little drive-in sim. I've got the little handbrake and the shifter and the clutch and the pedals. And you know, usually when I'm in that game, I actually listen to lo-fi more than anything because it's just calming. I don't have to really pay attention to it. But if I had our music on there, I would straight up just like I'd probably cause a lot of problems because it'd make me drive really erratically.
That game is the game I learned how to drift on.
Yeah.
I think I would do the Elder Scrolls video games.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's my favorite game series of all time.
All right, Chandler, what about you?
If they ever made another paintball game.
What?
Paint.
The last one I played was on original Xbox.
I was about to say, I can't remember the last time they ever came out with a paintball game.
You never know.
I didn't know that
a long time.
I would have to say this too. Any wrestling game. I love wrestling.
Oh yeah.
I'm a huge WWE fan. If we could get one of our songs put on a soundtrack, that would be dope.
Or if any wrestler wanted one of our songs as their intro, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Logan. Milk truck.
Logan's in here.
Fair enough. All right, Meg, you are up on the deck.
Okay, who would you say is the band dad and who is the band Chaos Gremlin?
Corey and Chandler.
Corey.
Wait, who's
which
who?
one?
Which one?
Corey would be the dad, and then Chandler would be the chaos.
I'm sure about that.
What? I thought it'd be the other guy.
Yeah, that's what I would. Okay. Right.
I would say
by no. By personality, not like by like Chandler keeps everything together. Like he helped put all this together, right? But just by
like the dad,
personality, not like scheduling or anything, but just talking to. That's what I mean.
Okay.
What makes me like a dad?
I'm curious.
What makes?
Now I'm asking the question.
Wait,
what is it?
Or daddy?
Oh, all right. Next question.
No, I guess I can see it because usually like I'm like I guess you could say the safe one. I don't like I like
Corey
to be in bed.
Corey is our positive head in the group. He's the one.
I just try to keep everyone together because me and Chandler work off of each other. Me and Chandler are very similar in like vision and like goals, but we go about it very differently. And so we're kind of like yin and yang, we need the positive and we need the less positive. So
it's a way of balance. That's all.
Yeah.
Balance. You got to balance it out.
But definitely when we're talking about chaos, it's Chris 100%.
Yeah, there 100%. You go.
There we go.
Yeah.
From what I've observed.
Fair enough. All right, Corey.
I got a jail cell with my name on it already. I'm just kidding.
What's some of you guys' hobbies outside of music?
Okay, I don't think I have any.
Dude, I was about to say I work so damn much.
Hobbies in this economy?
I've been blessed with the absolute curse of being a car guy, as I've mentioned and others have mentioned, which means all of my hobbies are expensive, which means I'm always broke.
Yep.
But like drift cars and stuff like that. Like I've got my own drift car, and even though it's not operational right now, that's just kind of life.
Even though it's broke down.
Car guy. But drifting, car stuff, anything motorsport, motorcycles. I wheel and deal bikes. Like I like to ride motorcycles on the track and on the street and stuff like that. Pretty much anything automotive, snowboarding, just adventure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Mine is cars, and I love computers, so I like to build computers and stuff for other people and myself. And I love like ATVs, four-wheelers, mud riding, things like that. So I don't know. All mine are too expensive. My wife hates it. It's okay though.
Hey, we got to go 4-wheeling sometime.
Ooh, that'd be
Let's
fun.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Do it.
I was talking to Chris.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Or I was talking
I'm
to,
down.
but yeah, let's just band wide, or we can do that.
Yo,
Hey, any day to go play out in the mud's a fun day for anybody.
Hell yeah.
I'm
Like to
I'm right there with you.
I'm poor and I don't have a 4-wheeler, dirt bike, whatever.
You do have a motorcycle. Well, did you sell it?
No, he didn't.
That's definitely not for the dirt.
I feel like one of the coolest things that's underrated that Chandler
Yeah,
doesn't say
he's
anything
got
about
the-
is
Chandler actually
His-
loves to go clubbing.
Actually,
is his
DL.
backyard paintball
let
and
me
pellet gun
let me
area.
tell y'all. Let me tell you something. So he's downplaying it. First of all, his bike is freaking sick, and if it weren't for his bike, this band wouldn't be a thing. Because the reason this band even exists is because I was out riding my motorcycle on the local little mini Tail of the Dragon, little mini mountain road, and I was riding with some friends, and I stopped at the lookout at the top, and as I'm taking off my gear, Chandler's sitting on this rock, and he sees the piercings and plugs. He's like, "You listen to metal?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we start talking, and literally, and that was, I want to say, dude, that was what, last June? It was
sometime.
last June. It was last June or July, and then over the next couple months, we got in contact, we stayed in contact, and then we kind of formulated the whole thing from there. But it started with riding motorcycles.
That is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Heck
No,
yeah.
wait. I heard, Cliff, you said something about a paintball. Someone's got paintball in their backyard?
Well, Chandler has this little course that him and his kid has dug out behind his house, and it's pretty sick. But
Ooh.
I feel like Chandler likes that, but he's not gonna say it.
Y'all just throwing each other under the bus left and right today.
No.
He doesn't want anybody to come over.
I'm not throwing nobody under the bus. I'm just saying
Nobody
I want to go over
I'm
there.
just
He
trying
just
to
lives
figure
far
out
away.
where this paintball course is behind Chandler's house because we're sitting back here and I see plants and trees.
It's in the woods.
Oh,
Not
it's
in
in
the
the
backyard.
woods.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So
Kind of
on that, we are going to get the hell out of here because we know some of you got to go to work and do your thing. But before we do, please make sure you go check out New Villains on all their social media accounts.
Yeah.
And before we go out, as always, we are going to play a music video for them, for everybody who is currently watching. So this is the music video from New Villains called Fold. On that, we'll actually be back tonight at 9 o'clock with another band. We'll be here with Ashes to Omens at 9 o'clock. So join in on that. Go check out New Villains. Stay put. Watch our video. We love you guys. We'll see you in a few hours.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah.